Hi, you guys. Leanne Holitza here. It's about time for our Oracle check-in. Happy New Year. I'm going to just give it a minute so people can get here. We're going to use the Sacred Symbols deck again today for your personal readings, using the Yantra deck for our readings that are for us to navigate as a collective. Type me, please, in the comments if you want a card. Don't know who I am. I'm Leanne Holitza. I'm an energy healer out of the Healing Studio in Broomfield, Colorado. And I've been doing this for a while. This is fun, a little activity that we do on Sundays to get our wits about us. So, couple of announcements about stuff. Energy 101 is starting up again this week. Woohoo. I mean, it's been a while since I've been able to offer it, so I'm excited about that. We are still going through Energy on Purpose. So we're getting messages about the month and doing meditations and things like that. That's been pretty fun. Our Beliefs Club is starting again this month, and that's been fun. We've been doing a lot of fun things that are going to keep going with momentum this year. So, and we're starting off this reset somatic lunchtime thing on Wednesdays. I'm super excited about that. I'm totally participating in that somatic reset. Anyway, all right, let's get started, shall we? All right. So first we're going to start off with the action card sideways. What that is saying is pause. Hold on, you guys. It's not time to take the next step. There's a little Ganesh in this card, and it's like, let Ganesh clear the obstacles before you do anything. Because if you take too fast of a shift, you might accidentally work against the universe instead of with it. Okay. So this week, pause your action at least at the beginning of the week. This card represents the card that is like our helper card. It's forgiveness, okay? So this card is basically saying nothing's gone wrong. There's things that you're holding grudges about. You're feeling hurt. You're feeling like you're not being considered. Whatever it is, your feelings have been hurt for long enough now. And now it's time to, for your own sake, forgive, okay? So this card is very much talking to you about allowing everybody to do whatever they've done, have the feelings they're going to have, but you take responsibility for your own hurt, okay? By the end of the week, we are still trying to control things. The Exhale card being sideways is like we're still not surrendering to the universe. We're still trying to do it ourselves. And this is kind of important detail because what this week is kind of asking us to do is to accept what has happened. Okay. So accept where we are, be here, and know that the universe is working it out for you. Okay. All right. Let's build on that. So this is your first card. If you're watching later, thanks for watching later. If you're watching live, this is your first card. Okay, if we get the cards 3 times in a row, which I would recommend staying till the end to find out about, I would say that you would want to acknowledge that the 3 times in a row is for all of us, okay? All right, so here's your first set of cards. 1, 2, 3. All right, if you picked 1, you're going to want to work on grounding. You guys, this is a really important thing anyways. The messages for the first 3 weeks of this month are that we're going to ground and ground some more. And then even if you think you're grounded, ground even deeper. So if you don't know how to do that, that might be a good reason to take my Energy 101 class. But if you got something to do that you know how to anchor yourself in, this is really important. This message, if you picked 1, but really this message is for all of us. I'm telling you, that's been kind of coming up. If you picked 2, you're going through a shift. Now, the shift, sometimes it's uncomfortable to go through shifts. Sometimes you have to go through a little bit of a portal or a vortex of change that feels a little bit unsettled. This card is basically saying, deep breath, allow yourself to see that. And, you can't resist the shift. The shift is going to happen. So just let it happen. If you picked 3, you're working with your own power. And just the concept of power this week, okay? What is even power, and how does power work out in your life? All right, that is the skinny of what we're doing this week. Let's go ahead and start with our list. All right, so Kalina, You're getting 2 cards, okay? So the first one is soulmate and the second one is stormy. Okay. So what this is basically saying, the stormy card indicates that something is rough right now and that this is not the time for something to work itself out. And that's so when the stormy card comes, it's basically like hunker down, weather the storm. This is going to be a little bit rough, but you'll have your sea legs about you and it'll be okay. The soulmate card is basically indicating some single relationship might be a bit stormy. Okay. So if I got these 2 cards together for myself, I think my advice to myself would be to not fight, know that there is definitely a potential for fighting, and to just do my best to stay out of those interactions. Okay. All right, Miranda. Miranda, you're working on releasing. Okay, so you got your little sword there, and you're saying, cutting the cords, cutting myself free from things. And if we go back to the beginning of that forgiveness card, it's also kind of just saying like what's holding you back because you won't let it go or you won't forgive. Okay, that's going to be something to work on healing this week. Kimberly, your weekly focus is going to be on truth. Okay, so this is basically saying it's okay to have the truth come out. Putting your head in the sand is not necessarily going to serve you. Accepting what is, facing it head on this week, and then letting the truth be the thing that pulls you forward, okay? Not backwards. Diane, you are going to be working on spiritual cleansing. Okay, so that means this week, whatever you want to do to bring in clearing out karma, clearing out your space. So, saging things, doing energy healing work on yourself, whatever makes sense there. I think it's really going to put you in alignment with whatever the year wants to set you up for. Okay, so however you do spiritual cleansing, focus on that this week. Stephanie R. You've got divinity. Okay. So this card is basically saying focus on the divine sense of self, divine sense of others, the divine sense of order. We're looking at that this week with those Yantra deck cards, and we're seeing that we're in the way because we think we have to control it all. This card is basically telling you to trust in the divine. Talk to the divine. Give the divine some instruction. What do you need to get through these times? What kind of reassurance would let you know that those divine energies are hanging out? Mountain River and Tommy, Mountain River, you're going to work with magic this week. Okay, so whatever that means for you, whatever your magic is, whether it be a crystal grid or you do some Reiki charged candles, whatever it is that you want to do, but this is very much working with magic, especially on things that you're feeling you need a little help with. Tommy, you're working with boundaries. Okay, so this is where it would be good to respect other people's boundaries and your own, and recognizing where there might be some breaches. And you don't have to necessarily explain or defend yourself around boundaries. Just set them and then let the people around you adjust to them however they choose to. Okay. All right. Janelle and Donnie, if you're joining me now and you haven't typed me, please feel free. That's how you'll get yourself a card. Okay, Janelle, you're going to be working with relief. Okay, that's nice. So a little bit of energy around, it's going to be okay. It's going to feel a little bit relieving. There's going to be a little bit of extra softening for you. You might even feel relief in the sense of just some issues wrapping up. Donnie, you're going to be lucky this week. Maybe that's why you're going to have relief. Donnie's going to get lucky. Okay, so a little luck, little whimsy, letting yourself be a little more playful, not so serious about how you're creating things. Okay. All right, Robin, Chris, Austin, Jordan. Robin, you're also getting relief. Second time we've seen that. Maybe it's for all of us, but who knows? Basically, something's going to kind of go for you this week. Okay, so let it and give yourself a notice where you're accidentally on high alert habit. Okay. All right, Chris, you got 2 cards. You got the healer and you got the soulmate. Okay. So, what this is saying to you is that what's going to heal you the most this week is if you lean into your primary relationship, the one person that you have that can make you feel solid and grounded and loved and healed. All right. It doesn't necessarily even have to be a romantic person, it could be a best friend, but whatever it is, you're going to lean into that soul healing that comes from connection. Austin, you're going to work with some veiled stuff, okay? So this card is talking about things that you're hiding, things that are being hidden from you, and making some decisions about that. Maybe it's okay. I mean, we all wear clothes to work, right? I mean, we're not going to go to work without veiling our bodies a little bit. It's like that. Like if you're deciding to keep something hidden, that's okay, but just acknowledge that you are, right? So just and also that other people are also allowed to keep certain things private as well, okay? Jordan, you got 2 cards too. You got good fortune and you got divine masculine. Okay. So what this is saying is it's your good fortune is going to come from your good actions. Okay. Your singular self. It's okay to put yourself first sometimes. It's not selfish to do that, even though we get taught that it is. It's vital that you do that because it's the only place you have any sense of responsibility is within yourself and your own actions. Okay. So this week, your good fortune will come from your own actions. Janice, you're going to want to work with the nature spirits. Okay. So go out and play outside. Unfortunately, in Colorado, at least in the part I live in, it's very nice outside. I say unfortunately because it's January. It's a little weird, but go play in the nature, go talk to the trees, go talk to the birds, whatever, and make peace with the fact that there's this natural world around you that wants to show you wisdom without actually using words. Terry and Colin. Terry, you're going to be working with your psychic energies, okay? So acknowledging that that's a skill you have and that you do accidentally pick up too much, and acknowledging that there's something to maybe some extra work to do around that this week, and to trust yourself. I mean, the stuff that comes out of my mouth, sometimes I'm like, that can't be true. And then I'll say it to a client and it'll be like, the client will be like, oh yeah, that's true. I'm like, what? So just kind of acknowledge, sometimes you're second guessing your intuition, but you don't have to. Colin, you're going to work with fire. Okay. The element of fire is purifying. When it's used properly, it's like, a nice warm fire burning or a candle. It's purifying, and it's also action. Okay. So it gets things done. It amps things up. So this week would be a good week to amp up your fire. Feel motivated. Denise, here is your focus. Safe travels. Oh, maybe you're going somewhere. I don't know. Or it could just be safe travels around wherever you have to travel, just in general. But this is just assuring you that this week you're well protected by those extra energies that want you to travel around with safety. All right. Kara, Tatiana, Kai, Kenzie. Kara, you need some protection this week. Okay. So a little extra time for settling your boundaries a little bit more. Set them, settle them, use them protectively. It'll be good for you and for your kids. Okay. Tatiana, you're going to work with the earth element. Okay. Now, the earth element is a lot about nourishment, and it's about doing things that feed you, that give you this energy of like wholeness and groundedness. Think putting the soil on top of your seed. Okay. You might even plant some seeds this week and see what starts to grow. But this is just very much staying grounded, staying earthy. Okay. Kai. The focus for Kai is work on energy of jealousy. Okay. So when you're feeling jealous, when other people are jealous of you, the evil eye is basically saying, I'm going to keep the jealousy away from me, and I'm going to be able to have nice things, and nice things can happen to me, and I don't have to pretend that they shouldn't. Kenzie, you're going to want to release things. Okay. That's just metaphorically. So that just means like just kind of in the imagination, you're going to imagine releasing anything that might be holding you back. Okay. That would be something to do this week. Don't let anything hold you back. Elizabeth. Oh, you're working with your shadow. That's always a fun thing to have to do. So shadow work can be a little rough. I'm not going to lie, but it's almost always very valuable. If you have some ideas about how to do shadow work, and you need some, let me know, because I have an actual online course I could give you about that, or just work on it yourself the way you know how. But do definitely work on the shadow this week. The online courses I have, you guys, are mainly being built for the Energy on Purpose membership. So, or the Light Council. So those would be places you could access that stuff. All right, Tiff, Divine Masculine for you. Action, singular focus, putting yourself first, letting yourself know that you have actions to take. If you need to, make a to-do list, make sure it's very visible so that you can stick with it, okay? Kimberly and Juan Carlos. Kimberly, you're going to transmute stuff this week, okay? So that's basically going to be where you are going to let yourself just, it's happened, it's happening. What can you do to turn it into strength and power, okay? Juan Carlos, your focus this week is going to be about protection. Okay, so setting up good boundaries, personal protection, physical protection, spiritual protection, emotional protection, all the things to focus on this week, okay? Really important in order for you to keep moving forward with your head up. Heidi M., you're going to work on knowledge. Take a class, read a book, do something that brings you a little bit more understanding of how things want to move forward. Knowledge is a really good act at the beginning of the year anyways, and we're in a 1 year and a 10 year. So that means we've got a lot of manifesting to do this year. So get some knowledge about that. Catherine S. Oh, you're working on shadow too. You and Elizabeth can get together and work on it. All right. Little shadow work, facing your stuff that you don't like to face. That's really what the shadow is about, is stuff that you would say, I don't do that. That's not me. And okay, it is me, and I'm going to face it. Okay. Max. Okay, Max, you're going to get some relief. That's the third time we've seen this card, you guys. So guess what? We're all going to get some relief. That's awesome. Let me pull up the book just to make sure I'm not missing anything. From your guides, everybody listen, okay? This is In Strife is an Icelandic magical state associated with ending suffering and calming anger. The end of suffering or hard times, yes. Much needed relief or break in the energy, yes. Miracles, rescue, and reprieve. Meditate on this symbol when all seems too much. Feel it blast out the negative as you call in the strength of your own heart. Woohoo, you guys. Third time's a charm on that one, so we all get it. Oh, I love it when we get good messages of relief. Kelly and Matthew. Kelly, you're going to be working with earth. Okay, so just planting the seeds and putting the soil, nourishment, grounding. It might make sense, again, to actually get into some dirt and plant something or clean something out. Earthy is good for getting things grounded and starting to physically manifest. Matthew, third time's a charm for the divine masculine. That means it's for all of us, okay? Action-oriented stuff, okay? The masculine is the singular action. But let's see what this book wants to tell us. This is a pagan symbol for masculine energies. In the elements, he is a consort of the triple goddess. The divine masculine is the embodiment of logic, direct action, and strength. Its most evolved aspect, he represents the builder, the protector, and the guardian. Drawing this card can symbolize the divine masculine energies needed to balance your current situation. It also can represent father, brother healing, and divine relationships with the divine masculine in your life. All right. That sounds good. Alexis, B, and Travis. Alexis, you got some trust this week, okay? You're being asked to trust that you're being helped, trust that the universe has your back, all those good things. All right. Travis, you're focused on jealousy. Okay, second time we've seen that, so you might need to be looking out for that. Where you're feeling jealous, where other people are projecting onto you, why do you get to have that? You're going to work through those energies this week. And notice where they're present. paying attention to them and then working through them, not denying that they're there. Okay. Kay, Ian, and Charlie. Kay, you are pulling the divine masculine for us again. So some singular action, things to need to get done, some focus. Okay, so fourth time for that one, which means it's for all of us, you guys. Divine masculine is the doer, the singular, the action, the builder. Okay, Ian, you are working on transformation. Okay, so coming out of the goo phase and putting yourself in alignment with whatever you're becoming now. Okay, little get your wings and fly. Charlie, you're going to want to meditate. Get a little downtime, a little time into your body, into your settledness. Let's quiet that mind down a little bit and just see what if you need a guided meditation, if your mind just doesn't calm down, I'm sure that your mother can help you find something about that. Eli and Taryn. Eli, you also are asking to trust. Second time we've seen that. Trust that you are supported. Trust that it's all working out. Trust that maybe it's not time to see it yet. Okay. Taryn, you're being asked to focus. Okay, this week, point the arrow, let it go, let it hit the mark. Okay, focus. It's pretty simple, right? Melissa, oh, I shuffled. You also got focus. Focus. Okay, so giving time and attention to the things you want to bring to fruition, and especially the stuff that's very easy. If you just took the extra time to do it, it would come to fruition. Okay, Shannon, you're on a karmic path this week. Okay, so kind of means that there might be some wisdom to be had, by the way, because karma is all about dharma too, which is wisdom, learning lessons, trying to find your way, because your karma is coming up for you to review. Nicole and Addison. Nicole, you're going to want to talk to your guides this week more. They are asking for a little quorum community time with you, to be able to talk to you about some next steps. Addison's working on the truth, letting the truth be true no matter what, telling the truth, being in the truth, seeing the truth. All of that stuff may not be that easy, but it's worth it. Okay. All right. So now I've got Hannah, Bella, and Concalo. I don't know if I'm saying Concalo right, but so sorry if I'm butchering it. Hannah, you're working on home. Okay. I think you already got this card before. Focus on what home means. What is home? What does it look like? What does it look like now? What might it look like later? That kind of stuff too. Okay. So maybe a little bit of dream time. Bella, you're bringing third time's the charm for the protection. Okay. So this is interesting. We've got the divine masculine and then we've got protection. That's doubling down basically on protection with that, because the divine masculine is the protector too. All right. I'm going to hold this up and read to you guys. This is the Norse Viking rune, often used when petitioning the gods for protection in a battle. You are protected. You are safe in all matters of the body, mind, and spirit. Your highest guidance is covered on all fronts. Do not delay in moving forward and inquiring about a relationship, situation, or how to proceed. Please take this as a sign that you are taken care of and no harm will be had. Meditate on this symbol when you feel like you have to strengthen your energy. So third time's a charm. So that means it's for all of us, you guys. Work on your protection, whatever that means to you. But spend some time really thinking about that. Goncalo, you are going to want to meditate. Okay, so a little time with yourself about what is going on. Why is it going on? Guided meditations are always good, especially if you have trouble quieting your mind. There is a ton of them on my website, or you can find them anywhere you want that feels good. But just do some intentional meditations this week. Tanya, you're going to be working with time. Time is kind of, it's linear sometimes, and it's not other times. When things are really going slow or not fast enough, when, we want it to speed up and things are going too fast, you're going to just kind of work on getting there on time, being on time, noticing that time is not your dictator, but in fact, it's something to be playing with. Okay. Lisa C., you're going to be working with boundaries. Set them. Don't defend them. Just declare them, affirm them, assert them. Okay. It's just a good thing to do. And sometimes the people who have benefited from us not having boundaries don't love it, but it's good for all involved. Christy R. and Lisa. Christy, have some courage this week. Ba-choom, okay? A little bit of energy to get things moving in the way that's like, this feels scary, and I'm going to do it anyway. Lisa, you're working with the element of air, okay? So air is that unseen supportive energy. We can't see it. We breathe it in constantly and use it for life, but we are just, it moves things around, but it's unseen. It's etheric. It's our spiritual self. So work with that unseen energy this week, okay? Maybe even work with your breath, your guides are saying. Okay. Cynthia, you're working with power. Okay. The right use of power. What does power mean? Where is power being used properly? Where could you readjust it? Maybe not have to be in such a like power, but instead power, just kind of an assertive energy. Okay. Karen, eat 100 foods. 5? There's a 5 at the end of yours. Earth. Okay, third time's charm. So we're all working with Earth, you guys. I'm going to read the book because that's what we do when we get the third time's a charm. Okay, so here it is. Earth. This is the alchemical symbol for Earth, okay? This is tangible, and all of that is physical in nature. This would help. What you can see, feel, and touch invites you to participate in enjoying it. Inviting Earth energy into your current situation will bring more stability at this time. Be kind to the temple of the physical body. This is the home for your soul. It requires adequate nutrition and rest. Meditate on this symbol when you want more connection to the physical plane and validation of what is in the three-dimensional world, your world with you. Honor it, see it, feel it, experience it, love and respect. Okay. Third time's the charm on that one. Yay. Okay. I'm going to do a card for my husband just because he's always bringing us third time's the charm too sometimes. But if you're hanging out and you haven't typed me, please, and you want a card, feel free. All right, here we go. Oh, my husband gets to work on home. What is home? What does home mean to you? What does home mean to yourself? That kind of stuff. I mean, it's really very personal what home is to people. All right. Well, you guys, that's it for today. I hope you have an amazing first month of the year, and I will see you next week. Bye.